Hey guys, this is your 25-minute workout for week 38 of pregnancy. Can you believe that we're almost there? You may be feeling quite large and uncomfortable at this point, but the more you can keep moving safely, the better. So for today's workout, we're going to start with our warm-up as per usual with a plie. So down into that plie, hands are going to go to knees. You're going to round the spine and then extend. So just opening up the hips, but also working on that spinal mobility here. Nice and slow. 2 more. And 1 more. You're going to stand up, turn the toes forwards, but keep those legs wide as you then go into some side bends. You can keep one hand on the thigh to help control that movement. And if you're feeling good, you can go ahead and add an overhead reach. So those belly muscles have probably stretched quite a bit so far, and they can be really uncomfortable, and just mobilizing that area with a few side stretches can help with discomfort. 2 more. And 1. You're then going to clasp those hands in front of you, round the shoulders, push forwards, and just rotate from side to side. So you should feel this stretching between the shoulder blades. Everything nice and easy at your own pace. 4, 3, 2, 1. We then move onto those legs with a nice wide stance, and we've just got some really slow lunges from side to side. So this is less about strength and more just about mobility and a little bit of stretching. So you want to feel that stretch in that inner thigh or groin region. And if you need a bit of extra support, feel free to use a table or a chair here. 4, 3, 2, 1. Standing up, back into that plie, contract and relax. So hands on the knees, round the spine, and then extend. As you round the spine, you're bringing that baby a bit closer towards you as you create some tension in that core region. 3 more. 2. And 1. Into those side bends. Breathe. Keep a bit of tension in that abdominal region so it's controlled. And if you want to, go ahead and add that overhead reach. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands clasped in front of you, push the shoulders forwards and rotate. You can tuck that chin in too. 4, 3, 2, and 1. nice wide legs into some side lunges. So just stretching out those hips and those inner thighs. Keep the weight on the heels here. Six more. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and come up into standing. So we always work out our legs in all of our workouts, and today we're going to start with some ski squats. So you're going to step out to the side, squat, arms go back as if you're skiing, and you're going to switch, there. If you do it a little bit quicker, you're going to find your heart rate going up, or you can keep it slow and controlled. If the stepping is uncomfortable, just stay in a stationary position, and you can just switch the hips from side to side. So also a hip and pelvis mobilizer. Or you're stepping out. So you don't have to keep those knees too close together to make space for that belly. 4, 3, 2, 1. We're then going to do some lunges. Feel free to use a wall or a chair if you need support. And you're going to keep your feet quite wide here for stability. So bring one leg back, one leg forward, slight tuck in the pelvis as you engage those abdominals, and you're going down into a lunge, squeezing back up. Down and up. Just keep in a comfortable range. You don't have to go super low, but you want to be able to come back up. Down and up. Squeeze. Just 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Switch sides. So nice wide stance, and you're bending down into that lunge. As you come up, squeeze the glutes. It'll give you a little bit of an extra workout. Down and up. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We then just got some simple calf raises. So your feet can be a little bit wider than hip distance apart as you come up onto your toes. A little bit of tension in the glutes here, as well as the core region. Relax the shoulders. As that baby gets heavier, calf raises just get more and more difficult as we end up lifting more weight. Six, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Shake out those legs a little bit because we're going back into those side to side ski squats. So you're either keeping stationary or you're stepping out. And then taking those arms back into a C squat position. Adding that arm swing is going to get that heart rate up a little. Keep it up. Side and side. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Turn side on, grab some support if you need to. Nice wide stance as we move into some lunges. Tension in those abs. And down. Up. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Down and up. Breathe. Keep the chest upright, so you don't want to be bending forward. You want to be straight up with that torso. 3 more. 2. And last one. Switch the feet. Pelvis ever so slightly tucked under, and you lunge. Squeeze the glutes at the top. Almost there. Breathe. Down and up. Down and up. Keep it going. We've got 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And back to center, calf raises. So keep the tension in those abdominals, squeeze the glutes as you rise up onto those toes, working those calf muscles. We've just got a little bit more work to do in standing before we move down to the mat. And keep it up. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, so let's move down onto the mat. You can roll down or step forward into a lunge, but we're going to end up in an all fours position. And just a bit of mobility here before we continue with a bit of strength. We've got barrel rolls. So here, you're just circling the hips and the pelvis round in one direction. And you shouldn't be straining here. It's just a circular movement in a comfortable range. For 4 more. 3, 2, and 1, and then change direction. So you're circling the other way. So as we get bigger and closer to delivery, this all fours position can be quite comfortable. You can also put your elbows over the edge of a couch, but especially if you're experiencing any pelvic or back pain, an all fours position is often quite pain relieving. 3 more. 2, 1. We've then got a tail wag. So your hips are just moving from side to side here. You've got a little bit of a curve or side bend movement happening in your spine, and you should feel a bit of a side stretch here. for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, we're going to move down into a sideline position. Everybody's favorite, because you get to lie down. And if you're having any insomnia or pregnancy insomnia, you appreciate any moment that you can lie down. So head supported in hands or on the mat. Knees are slightly bent in front of you, so around a 45-degree angle. Before you start, exhale, feel tension in those abdominals, and keep the hips stacked on top of one another as you open the top knee and then close. So this is our clamshell, just a really simple movement to work these side muscles of the hip that are also important stabilizers of the pelvis and low back region. As you can see, my knee is not opening up very wide. If I tried to do that, my hips would end up rolling backwards. But you want to keep those hips stacked on top of one another, so that movement may end up being quite small, as long as you're feeling it in the right area, which is right here into these side hip muscles. Squeeze for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You're then going to lift the feet, so keep the feet elevated as you do the same movement. So you're opening up that top knee as you keep your feet up off the ground. So by now you should be feeling at least a little bit of a burn in those side hip muscles. And this is often quite a nice position to adopt too, because the belly is supported by the mat. Keep it going for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the feet back down. Keep that bottom knee bent. You're going to lift the top leg up, straightening it out to the side. You're going to then bring the knee in as far as your belly will allow, and then kick it back out. In and out. As you kick it out, squeeze the glute here. In and out. Squeeze in and out. Keep it going. And keep the breath going. In and out. In and out. We've got 8 more. And 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, breathe, 2, and 1. And then bring the knees down and forward. Give that top hip a bit of a rub. Breathing. Okay. So we're going to switch to the other side, because in the interest of symmetry, what is done on one side must be done on the other. So get that starting position correct first. Head in hands, knees slightly bent in front of you, hips stacked. Exhale, tension into those abdominals, and we'll start with that knee lift and open. Once again, not a very big movement here, but you should feel those glutes and hip muscles working. Up and down, up and down. Keep it going. Squeeze those hip muscles at the top of that movement. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then we lift the feet up, keep them elevated, same movement. So you'll have a little bit more range here. So you may find that you're able to open up those knees a little bit wider. Remember, try not to let that top hip roll backwards, but keep the hips on top of one another here. You should be feeling that burn. Squeeze up and down. 5, 4, 3, almost there, 2, and 1. You're going to bring the feet back down, keep bottom leg bent, straighten out that top leg. Knee comes in, pushes back out, in and out. It'll help if you think about driving the heel down, almost as if you're trying to push through something. That will help you activate the glute, and remember to give it a squeeze at the end of that movement there. In and out. In and out. We're almost done with this side work. Keep that breath going. We've got 7 more. 6. Breathe. 5, 4, 3, and 2, and 1, and relax. Bend those knees forwards and give that top hip a little bit of a rub here. Whew. Strong hips going into delivery means stronger hips after delivery, which is going to help with stability and support. So push yourself up into a sitting position, and you're going to have your legs in a long diamond here. Your hands are going to be in front of you, or they can be on your knees, but the movement is a little bit of a roll down. So just rounding the spine here as much as your baby will allow. If your arms are in front of you, your abs are going to be working a little bit more here than if they're on your knees. And then come up and just hinge forward. So we're pairing a little bit of abdominal activation with some hip mobility and release. Round, little bit of a core contraction here. Come up and hinge forward, really opening out those hips. Round, come up and hinge forward. We've got 4 more of those. stretch forward. 3, and forward. Last 2. 1 more. Stretch forward and come up. So that is it for the relatively harder work. I think our workouts at 38 weeks are a bit easier than they used to be. Come back onto your hands, knees nice and wide here. You're going to drop the knees to one side and then drop them over to the other. So as the knee drops in, you should feel a bit of pressure in that hip. You don't want to push it too far, but it's often quite a good release, especially for any hip pain. Side to side. Also mobilizing that spine. 4 to go. 4 and 3, 2, and last 1. And sitting back up. You're then going to take one leg forward, one leg out to the side. With a nice straight spine, you're going to take that foot a little bit back. So you want the toes to be pointing backwards as you lean forwards here. Keeping that chest open. You're then going to turn a little bit towards that leg, which will change the stretch a bit. You should be feeling a bit of a hamstring or an inner thigh pull here, and possibly a little bit of a side bend. Keep that breath going. Okay, you're going to switch to the other side. So one leg in front of you, one leg out to the side. Turn the toes backwards. Keep that spine straight as you then hinge forward. So you should be feeling a nice hip opening movement here. You're then going to take that upper body a little bit more towards that leg that's straight out to the side. Stretch out the hamstrings a bit and stretch out the side of that torso. We're almost there. A few more releases before we tie up today. Bring the legs into a cross-legged position. Hands overhead. You're going to give one wrist a little bit of a pull as you bend over towards one side, and then you're going to switch. Little bit of a wrist pull and side bend, and keep switching from side to side with a few seconds of a hold each side. 3 and 2 and 1, and rolling back up to standing. Just push back onto those haunches and slowly roll back up. Taking those shoulder blades down the back. That is your 25-minute workout complete. Have a look at some of our other videos if you want a little bit more of a workout, and join the community if you haven't already by hitting that subscribe button or notification bell at the end. Bye guys.